There we go. Go ahead.
Ladies, I received an email invitation, um, not yesterday, the other evening, okay, 2 days ago, for another group that I'm involved in and a group of women. And I just honestly, I thought the first thing I did when I read it is honestly, I had to read it a second time because I thought, am I really reading this correctly? And I read it again and I thought of all of you. And I thought, this is the epitome of what we have we talk about. It literally illustrates everything laid out in one email of what our culture especially has done around food and women. And let me preface this by saying the person who sent this to me, she is a sweet, sweet young lady. Literally, I know she's just trying to get fellowship going, but it is so caught up in this crazy, awful, wrong, unbiblical idea of food and nourishment in our bodies. So I got the invitation to what she is doing this month to gather everyone, and it's called the Self-Love Supper. And it is literally the entire event is focused. She describes it on um, you are to bring something with you, food item that makes you feel good. All letters feel good. Now she clarifies it could be vegetables or anything you want, but it's all about what makes you, it's comfort food. What the whole purpose is sharing the food that brings you comfort. And not only that, but then the entire evening, the supper is going to be everybody talking, and you have to have the story that goes with the food, the comfort food. And ladies, I am just telling you, obviously I can't go to this, but it's so sad to me now. Because I look and I think this is not this isn't like why. And then I immediately thought, okay, maybe we need to have a business where we help women organization, because she even said that she had listened to a podcast on an event planning. And I thought, and I guarantee you, based on the things that she put forward, it had stuff about food. And I thought maybe that's what we need to do, is just have an event planning service for women where you don't have food. Like, can you gather without dealing with food and everything being so anyway, so I just had to share that and tell you I'm not going to the self-love supper, but it literally illustrates everything that we all are working so hard and working so hard, and saying, that's not right. It's not about, we can't do this, but this is, I mean, it's so bad in our culture. And I feel bad. I feel so bad for, because it's not like I'm one of 50 or something. This is about 10 people who got invited. So I have to say, I'm sorry, I can't go.
Yeah.
Um, but yes, ladies, that was my first invitation to something this year was.
You know, so that's interesting that you say that, that they're coming together to do this. And, everybody has their starting point. I mean, I remember a time years ago when I was really proud of my comfort foods and would even joke about it and like, well, it looks like it's going to be an Oreo night, or, I mean, it would just kind of be glorified, and like everyone would understand that language. And so when I hear what you're saying about this, I just think this is a person who she's wanting to bring people together, and um, she's just starting where she's at. But what we have found out in our group, Fit and Focused, is that, our conversation, when we start applying what the truth of what's going on and really looking at it, we start to find that our conversation is changing. Our conversation changes and we start to examine, okay, why did I say that? Why did I say that, I'm going to sleep with my comfort food tonight, or whatever it is that you say. And it may be, Angie, maybe you're designed to go and break up that fat party. You never know. Maybe
How
it's
did I know you were going to say that? Now, this is, yeah, I don't believe that's what God is calling me to do in this case, but yeah.
Can
yeah,
I interject something?
sure.
I went many, many, many years ago when my husband was an alcoholic to an Al-Anon meeting. And I was never so disappointed in my life. I was looking for a solution and they were trying to teach me how to live with it. And that's just what that sounds like, how to live with it.
Yeah.
Instead of fight it.
Yeah, I'm going to keep that thorn in my side and I'm going to push it in even further. I mean, it's also the equivalent to, I think about evangelists who go into bars and, maybe they had an addiction and they had overcome it. And then they go into the bar to try to save other people. And then, a justification happens where they say, well, in order for them to believe me, maybe I need to have a drink with them to show that I'm not really, and there's a whole mindset that it just starts to unravel what you know to be the truth, and it starts to lead you down another path. And Lord, I was not anticipating preaching today, but I'm
No,
just
I just,
being flooded with thoughts because, I mean, you think about Jesus who hung out with tax collectors and sinners and all that, and Jesus was super strong. He was locked in.
Preach, girl. Preach it. Preach it.
I just think it demonstrates the even broader context that we talk about,
Yes.
especially in the American culture, is that she did listen. It's obvious, like there's other events coming, and she listened to this podcast, and I thought, this is what it is. This is the enemy taking control, like getting in with women, and we're being told this, we should go to food for comfort.
Yeah.
And believing this, and what's this is a younger woman. She's in her young 20s, not married. So she's not had children. She's not gone through menopause. She's not, right? She's not experienced that. And she's thin. And I'm not, this isn't against her in any way. She has every good intention. My point is but this is our society and our culture, and that this is what we're just inundated to think, is that not only should we turn to food for comfort, but then we're going to, again, highlight it and put it on a pedestal and say, oh, here it is. And here's the story. And this is why it's such an amazing, I go to it. And that's all. I mean, we do that in here and talk about it, but it's for a different reason. It's for breaking that bondage and stuff. But it is so prolific. And this is what, if I could, anybody else coming into the program, this is what, if we could say to them, is this is the kind of stuff you have to fight every day. Like, it doesn't go away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and if we even just go to the word and how, you don't see anywhere in there, where it's really big and focused on self-love. It's about his love. It's about God's love. It's about doing what we do, disciplining ourselves, denying ourselves and taking up our cross. But even with that, the Lord didn't mean for us to be miserable. He wants us to be joyful and all of those things. And I think it's great that you're bringing this up, because it makes us realize that, yeah, there is a society out there that they're trying to go about things through the flesh. And that's where we exit stage right, because we're going on the path that aligns with scripture, and we're not going to be in love with food. I mean, food is for fuel. God gave us food and, we can enjoy it, but we're not going to worship it. So we're the boss of food. Actually, Jesus is the boss of us and we're the boss of food. He made us that. He made us to be able to live in choice. And so that requires us to change our conversation, and change and reframe the way that we're looking at food. So thank you for sharing that. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and do a quick check-in. We're going to do this. We'll do this in chat. So go ahead and rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5 on how you did yesterday. And Carol said maybe Angie Morell is supposed to have a conversation with the lady today. Call her up, email her. Maybe they can have you come and do a talk.
Maybe she needs to send her an invite to Fit and Focused.
Yeah. That's a great idea. We'll set her straight.
Since I'm driving, I can't put it in chat.
Okay, go ahead and tell us.
I'm a 4.5.
Okay.
Timing was just a little bit off, but the main thing is still the water. I did get about 2.5 bottles down, so I'm working on it.
Okay. And Carol just texted me. She gave herself a 4. She said almost got my water. So I'm seeing here. Okay, so Angie too didn't get your water. I was drinking water all day and I knew it. I use so much toilet paper. Oh gosh, it's funny. Paper towels. I had to get more paper towels because, yeah. So anyway, okay. So Catherine 4.5, Jennifer is a 5, Irma is a 4.5, different vegetables. All right, and I would want to open it up for questions. Miss Sharon, I know that you had questions about that menu. I didn't see where you texted me again this morning so that I could find what you sent me. Did you send me that on Messenger or to my text? Let's see. I cannot find it, Miss Sharon. I can't find what you sent me. Lydia 4 didn't get all the water and timing off for dinner, down 2.6, so a total of 9.4. Great job. I was actually just noticing your face today, that your face is thinner. Yeah. All right.
I'm really starting to feel like just brighter and so really starting to feel that release. But holy moly, it's been a rough week. My body's just not been happy.
Yeah. Yeah, boy, whatever we put down and it starts coming back up and out, it's like our bodies are like, what are you doing?
Right. Yeah, I've lots of resistance this week, and it's like I feel like a candy bar or I feel like a cookie. I'm like, no, you don't need a cookie.
That's right.
That's not the purpose.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? I mean, you can, like, I had to go to the grocery store after work and I was running through and Little Debbie oatmeal cakes. It's like, oh, it would be nice to have one of those. I'm like, no, because the moment I would eat that, I would feel like crap and I would be disappointed in myself because I did not practice good discipline and delay. And so, yeah, so I walked right by that and moved on. All of us hear those voices. The enemy is always at us, right? He's always trying to tickle our ears and our senses. So we just have to be on guard for that. All right. Sharon, sorry your call got dropped. I was asking you, Sharon, to re-message me the pictures of the food choices that you had, because I can't find it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
text me, if you can go ahead and text me now, that would be great. So that way,
Okay. Let me see if I can. Okay.
okay. All right, so while you're doing that, here's what I want to do. I want to put you back into discussion group, and I want you to talk about what, if you look at your overall experience in the last 5 days with the detox, what victories have you had? Now, when we're working on this, we really need to pay attention to our conversation. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. What we say, when we bring it out into the atmosphere, we make it real. And our brain hears that. Our brain hears whatever we're saying. And it really can't differentiate whether what we're saying is actually happening or not. So that's neuroscience for you. So I want you to be mindful of your conversation. And if you are the person that you tend to start off with, well, here's where I screwed up, or I didn't do this right, or I didn't get enough of this, or that is a lack mindset. We've been given an abundance. And I look at every single one of you, and you have made progress this week. So this is what I want you to focus on. It's not to say we're ignoring all of your challenges. That's what we talk about all during the week. We get the chance to hash those out, and we've heard those. I didn't get enough water. I kind of messed up on my timings. Got it. Got that memo. We're going to focus on victories. What are the good changes that have happened? All right. So Sharon, I'm going to take my screen back because we're going to go into this exercise, and then I'll we'll do that.
Sorry about that. I'm sorry.
No worries, no worries. Okay.
Okay.
So in the breakouts, remember, you're going to talk about what your victories have been over the last 5 days. And I'm going to challenge you all to keep each other accountable to the conversation. So if your partner starts going down and here's how I sucked, and here's how it didn't work out, I want you to say, okay, but what are the victories? Okay, but what are the victories? All right. So this is going to require a little bit of rewiring of our brain to do that. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. Let me get you into your breakouts here. All
Good
right.
morning.
There's going to be 3 of you. Good morning. Good. There's going to be 3 of you in one room. Jennifer, Irma, and Carol. You are all actually together. So, okay, here we go. I'm going to give you about 5 or 6 minutes. 1 minute left, ladies, 1 minute.
That's awesome.
All righty.
Um,
Hope I gave you all enough time to chat. All right. So real quickly here, what were some victories that you heard?
Kathleen is going to speak for us.
You mean Catherine?
Catherine from New Mexico.
Sorry, I had to plug my phone in. Yeah, I heard some great victories with Miss Sharon over here. I love that one of her challenges, she said, is that when the food is brought to her room, it often has a sweet item, right? A food item. So she has developed a response to that, or a plan to just take that, maybe back to another area of her facility so that she doesn't have to be tempted by it. So I think the victory there is that she's already starting to think about how to respond, or not reframe, but how to handle some of these temptations that may come to her.
Mhm.
She has control over that. She doesn't have control that it comes to her necessarily, but she has control over getting it out of her room and not be tempted by it. So I think that's a great victory,
Yeah.
because that's the first thing in all things, is awareness, and
Yeah.
then trying to get a plan for it. So I love that for her. And I would just say my victory is just being able to stay on plan, especially with this week, and kind of going through emotions and that. Like, I had a pretty tough night emotionally last night, and this is the first time I can remember in a very long time on this journey that I just wanted to eat. I wanted to eat whatever I could get my hands on, salty and crunchy, but you know what? I didn't do it. So, but anyway, so that's the victory, that we just stay the course and we just push forward.
Good stuff. I mean, as you were just talking about, Sharon, it's kind of like we're planting seeds in these first 5 days, and they're just starting to sprout and get grounded, just starting to take root. It takes time for that to grow, and it's kind of like this tender time. And so just making those decisions to get the things visually out of our line of sight is powerful. So good stuff. Good stuff. And Catherine, you are tough as nails as far as I'm concerned. you, you are one tough chick. Oh goodness. Okay. So anyone else, what did you hear in terms of victories? Lydia.
When I was talking with Sharon, she's really working on getting her water intake and really overcoming her past fears about that, because in the past, when she had heart surgery, they really discouraged her to not drink too much water, which would impact her heart, due to some other things they were trying to, um, project on her that she doesn't, accept. And so that is just that anxiety or fear of that, that could come about
Mhm.
because of drinking that extra water. And so just her working through that and trusting that God's going to bless, the water she is getting in and the more that she needs to intake.
Yeah. And with water, there is a place where you can overdo it.
Yeah.
I've seen people like have 5-gallon jugs of water. Say, I'm drinking this all day, and that is counterproductive. So I would never advise against anything that your doctor has said to you based on your medical condition. But the truth is we can't live without water. And when we are depriving our body of fat and sugar, which what we're doing right now, I mean, fat it's just another liquid that gets broken down that our body uses. And it tends to slow down our process. But because we're even eliminating fat, it dries us up like beef jerky if you're not having water. That's just the truth. And you know it because when you get up in the morning, you look at your skin and your heels are dry and cracked, your shins are flaky, and you see your hands, they've got the crepey look to them, and your veins are super thin. If your veins are like super thin, then you know that you're needing some water. So just use your best judgment on that. Okay, anyone else want to share? All right, so here's what I want us to do. Reflection question. We did some work. We took a look and did some assessing around where we are in our relationship with food. I don't want to get away from that because there's a lot to dig into there. But what I do want you to do, since we're thinking on the positive track, we've reached a milestone. We've reached 5 days. And I want you to be thinking about what does your future relationship really look like? How is it different than what it is today? And I want to be mindful of something that Irma said, or Angie, one of them, that we're trying to be perfect, and we're just not going to be perfect all the time. So I want you to create a realistic view, not a Pollyanna view. Like, I'll be floating through the day and I'll be having celery juice for breakfast every day. And, we know that's not real. Come on. But I really want you to think about, well, if I'm going to move into this lifestyle and I'm going to enter in to a new relationship with food, what do I need that? What are the rules of that relationship? You have rules of engagement in your real life relationships with your spouse and your friends and your children. You've got rules for them. You need rules and principles and values around your relationship with food. All right. So that's all that we have for today. Miss Sharon, you can stay on and you can share your screen with me real quick. I got to hurry though. We've got VIP Connect at 9 a.m. for those of you that you're a part of the VIP community. So. What, Miss Sharon? You cut out.
Saying,
Oh, you got a bad connection. Do you want the Zoom link for that meeting? Here, for you all, since you're on here, I'm going to give you the link to VIP Connect. It starts at 9 Eastern here in 20 minutes. So there it is.
Angie, I sent you a quick note on Messenger, and I think I can get the answer when I do VIP Connect, but I want you to take a look at it.
Okay, all right, sounds
All right.
good.
All right, thanks.
Okay. All righty. All right, ladies, for those of you who are going to be on VIP Connect, I'll see you here in 20 minutes. So it looks like I lost Miss Sharon. She left. She left me. All right, well, I'll jump off and see if I can catch her in Messenger. All right, ladies, see you soon. Bye.